Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming back to the Duchess of Unicorn YouTube channel. If you're new here, this channel discusses views and opinions and thoughts that I have in terms of what's happening within the British royal family, and especially pertains to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. And I just want to make a note that the channel is not all about criticism. It is constructive criticism, but really it's just my thoughts. It's just an opinion. It's hearsay. It doesn't matter to the masses, but it just matters to me because I feel like with you all out there, I'm able to share my thoughts and maybe as a soundboard, you're out there and you are sharing your thoughts as well with me. So this channel is just for entertainment. It's my own views, voices, opinion, thoughts, my stance, and I'm exercising freedom of speech in the United States is where I'm based. I'm also biracial, just throw that in. It really doesn't have a huge impact here, but occasionally you might hear me speak about Meghan in the way that she's biracial and addressing some of the things that I find interesting, for lack of a better word. And I may, come from that point of view. Okay, so today is Sunday and it's going to be just a really quick video because I'm actually cleaning my house and doing laundry like everybody else probably is on Saturday and Sunday. I'm not sure, but that's like my designated day. And so I wanted to take a moment because I was looking over, just kind of skimming. I wasn't going to do a video today, but I was going to skip today. But I was looking through some of the internet stuff and doing some searches on coronavirus and other things. And I said, let me see if there's anything, developing. And of course there always is, but I really didn't feel anything that I gravitated towards, but I did see this photo of the Queen, and I don't know, to me, the first thing I thought was she looks a little yellow or grayish. So like, I wonder if she's feeling superb, because I know she's quite, not youthful, but I know she's a healthy person in general. Based on what we've seen, she is 93 years old, but we still have to think she is 93 years old. So, but it didn't strike me as a picture of wellness. So I wanted to just pop on and see a little bit about what we're dealing with today in terms of this article. Now, this article again is people.com. I don't mean to keep clicking on people.com. I don't know why I'm drawn to it. Maybe it's the verbiage they use and it makes sense to me. And then I click on it and it's the, same old rhetoric. People.com to me is not, it's more of a gossip. It's kind of not any publication I take, seriously, because I think Meghan her camp funnels a lot of stuff through to these type of magazines, especially in the United States. I'm seeing Town and Country, People Magazine. I know there's a couple more, Bizarre, Elle Magazine, like those type of online magazines. I see that Meghan is in, which is kind of all entertainment magazines, but they do cover, like anybody covers the royal families, especially the British royal family, which I want to make a note. How many other royal families are there in the world? Think about it. But only the British royal family seems to set the precedence in terms of being in entertainment magazines and on the front page of a lot of things. It makes me wonder who really rules the world, okay? Because there was a time when the British monarchy ruled quite a lot of areas around the world. It's like a tribe, and the British royal family have ties within, Denmark, and, you can kind of research this stuff, which I am going to present a longer video, maybe not super long, but a slightly longer video in terms of how far the royal families are intertwined with each other and how the British monarchy seems to be one of the most talked about, most photographed, most involved in things all over the world. Okay, So I'm going to read this article, but I want to start and show you up front what the article is. Took me forever to scroll up here. It is People Magazine, people.com, and Queen invites Meghan Markle and Prince Harry to church. It was a sweet gesture, sources say. And here they are going to church. Meghan's teeth look super white. I think she lost a little bit of weight, maybe 5, 10 pounds, 8 pounds. It seems to me that she slimmed a little bit down. It's probably because she's in her own life and in her own world again, and she's more focused on that type of stuff instead of, like, I don't know, dealing within, one household, say the British monarchy, wherever she was staying, God knows where they were staying, whether it be Frogmore Cottage or Buckingham Palace or some other place. It seems like she might be back in her own groove, eating her own type of food and feeling less stressed and less agitated, and maybe she's, been more relaxed. So that's what it looks like to me. She's actually looking more relaxed, if anything. Prince Harry, I don't know. He still has that same, face, that same puss all the time. And although I think he thinks he's happier, because I think things have come to a point and a head, and I think he's just getting accustomed to it. That seems like what's happening. He's settling into it. So we'll see. I don't really know. Every time they have a joyous, a wonderful moment in the media where, like, they're talking about the Queen is, inviting them to church, there's some kind of ramification thereafter, because chaotic Meghan will normally do something that is different from what we think protocol is supposed to be, or what she should be doing. Well, right now she's gotten her way. She's able to return back to entertainment, say she's looking for a gig or speaking or whatever. So maybe I feel a little hopeful, like perhaps Meghan will return back to her authentic self. I talk about that a lot, that I feel strongly that when I look at her interviews prior to marrying Prince Harry, up until like a year or two of marrying Prince Harry, she seems relaxed, more her normal quote unquote self, the self that she wanted to project forward. And I think it's her authentic self, and I have given her the credit for that time being her authentic self. It seems steadfastly different than the person she projects into her since she's been inside the royal family. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are getting in some quality time with Queen Elizabeth after she visited MI5. The Queen visited last week. While they're back in the UK this week, the monarch is 93, invited the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to join her for church service in Windsor on Sunday morning. The calm before the storm. It was a really sweet gesture that the Queen asked them to church. Now, keep in mind, when I'm reading this, I'm thinking to myself, the Queen understands that Meghan could have walked away from the British royal family, because again, when we talk about my previous video about the buyout, she floated her buyout that was posted on blindgossip.com. She had a number, 900 million, I believe, and she had this number that they were putting out in PR, and was all over the internet. She could make $1 billion, $5 million, 500,000 each person for appearances between her and Harry. All this stuff was going on, all these numbers out there. And then, she's at church, being invited to church by the Queen while she's in the country. And that is a kind gesture. But to me, it's like a quiet place to chit chat, like where no cameras are involved, no sound, there's no listening devices. It's on the Queen's territory. It's behind closed doors. So although they're invited to church, which seems like a very sweet and noble gesture and harmless, I feel like a lot more could have gone on there, unbeknownst to anybody at all, because the cameras and listening devices are not prohibited inside the church. So it would be a perfect place to discuss real talk. And let's not forget that Prince Harry had lunch with his grandmother this past week as well, one-on-one. So whatever she had to say to him in her quarters at her time, between just him and her, we're never going to be the wiser. And it's interesting that it just looks like a cute, sweet lunch with her grandson who has stepped down from her family, which is reminiscent of her uncle who stepped down from being king, and her father had to become king, and subsequently she became queen. Okay, if I think I got that order correct. Meghan wore a fascinator style headpiece and striking emerald earrings, while Harry wore a suit and tie. The queen arrived in the light blue ensemble with a matching hat. Okay, so there it is. The move echoes the Queen's rare and emotional statement earlier this year, in which she said Meghan, Harry, and her great-grandson Archie will always be much-loved members of my family. What else can she say? She has a lot of grace, and she intends to keep face with being, not small, petty, or, arrogant, or stretch her muscle that we know she has. She has a very powerful ties. She's a very powerful woman. And she's just being graceful, and I think she's being tactful. Harry and Meghan are stepping down as senior royals, and now it says, Harry, Meghan, and Archie will always be much-loved members of my family, the monarch said. I recognize the challenges they may experience as a result of intense scrutiny over the last 2 years and support their wish for a more independent life. Sure you do. I want to thank them all for their dedicated work across this country, the Commonwealth, and beyond. And I am particularly proud of how Meghan, now this I want you to pay attention to. I'm sorry about my dogs again. I know there was a comment on someone could not watch my video because my dogs. I'm so sorry, but I live in a small home, and my dogs, even if they're out, like they're outside right now, and I'm not sure if you can faintly hear them, but it is quite annoying, especially when you're doing a video. And they live here, so I would have to get in my car and drive somewhere else and try to do this video on my phone, somewhere else out in the blue, and then drive back home and load it up and do everything. So please bear with me. They're not always, now they're quiet. Okay. So, the Queen, I wasn't telling you, the Queen has made the statement. It's a past statement. We've all read it, heard it being broadcast across all channels. And here's the thing. It makes me wonder, since, again, now we know that Meghan has, most of us are thinking Meghan has been either placed within the royal family by certain backers, by financial backers, by powerful other people who, have agendas. We have not decided between us, you and I, who the backers are. I mean, is it Soros? Is it political backers? Is it other monarchies in the world? Is it other governments? Is it the British government? Is it somebody in the royal family? We will never know. We don't know until we one day go, aha, or it is revealed within, the media. So when we see that the Queen is saying she recognizes the challenges that they have experienced as a result of intense scrutiny, I think that's buttering Meghan's bread. I just think it's like putting a Meghan at ease that, we understand, it's a little bit of pity. It's a little bit of compassion. I feel it's applied compassion, even though what she says is obviously pretty blatantly could be true. Maybe she has inclining that, she has been under great scrutiny, and that makes sense why she wants to escape, and, all that is fine. But let's remember, the Queen is a extremely powerful and influential person in government and in world business and internationally. So I understand she's a woman and a grandmother and a family person, and she has heart and care, but let's not take it to soap opera level, to where we really feel impacted by her words that Meghan is truly taken under her wing and she supports her. I feel like it's a chess move on the big game, the big board. So, and I'm not sure. The question is, does Meghan know or think it is? Does she suspect it is? And I feel like they have to be like this, because I'm not sure Meghan's authentic, true agenda is heartfelt, is that she really loves Prince Harry. And, things have just gotten complicated and weird. So I'm not sure of that. So I take the side of the Queen in terms of, I just feel that the Queen is putting it out there to make Meghan feel at ease and to make sure that she doesn't go apeshit with her nonsense, with her chaotic self. And at the same time, I think when we think about Meghan, I think it's her acting up to the part, like, oh, gracious herself, and being coming and looking her very best and trying to put her best foot forward and not showing any emotion because she's an actress. Now, we understand, I've watched a few of her shows and she's not a good actress unless this has prompted her to be the very best actress that she'll ever be in her entire life at this time, because of dealing with the royal family and being put under scrutiny and being involved in such things. And we never know what's really going on in the background. So I just wanted to, touch upon this and say that I think it's all chess moves. I think it's all chess moves, and I think that we're clear to see a lot more of this. But I think as soon as March is over, I think we're going to see Meghan being in some type of movies and doing speeches. And I don't really know who wants to see her speak when she's really not that affluential outside of fashion, and I don't think people take her seriously on her own merit without Prince Harry. Like tomorrow, if her and Prince Harry parted, she probably would get speaking gigs and book gigs and like work with women, because that's what she falls back on. Work with women, empower women. Like it was her job to empower women. And I just feel like that's something, again, a trendy, popular thing that she's grown to kind of covet. And then I think that's something she can fall back on. And lastly, there's always Hollywood. So if she can act like she's, still, a power player in terms of with Prince Harry, I feel like together, and it reminds me of their engagement interview when they said, we make a good team, Prince Harry said. And it makes you wonder, Leo, sometimes we refer to our marriages and our relationships as teams because we're together in the world and it's us against them. But honestly, I'm thinking back now and I'm thinking when he said team, it rings a bell today. Like this is an agenda. This is a mission. This was pre-planned. And what we're seeing, it's playing out. And I feel like we're somewhere midway. We're right at the cusp of being midway through this big ordeal. And let's face it, it's keeping the British royal family entirely, completely in the media and deflecting from the Prince of York. All right. I will, because you haven't heard much of that. And that's funny. That's kind of just trickling somewhere and stewing somewhere on its own, and he just gets away with whatever he gets away with. I'm not about talking about the Prince of York, because I could care less about that, but I'm more about how Meghan has been placed there either as a mole or a deflective or someone who can, I feel like there's an arrangement here. And I feel like the team that Harry had referred to is the team of them two tackling certain issues that they may or may not thought are coming to pass. Like, what if they knew 2 years ago that something was going to come to develop with the Prince of York and they started this long ago? Maybe it was said to them a year ago. Whatever the case may be, this stuff doesn't just pop up overnight. This stuff has been brewing. And I feel like Meghan is put there for those reasons, to either, be a mole to discover secrets of the royal family and be put there. And I believe that could be true. It could be a dual thing. Or she could be, helping the royals by way of Prince Harry, and it's agreement and it's a contract and it's a mission, and we'll see this play out. And I feel like, again, it's just heading towards the thick of it, the middle. There was a part 1, this is a part 2. So we'll see. And if you have any comments, please leave them. happy Sunday. I hope you're well. I hope no one has been affected that you know, or your family or your friends, by the coronavirus. I have been reading a lot about that. And of course, I'm actually cleaning my house today because I got so crazy about the coronavirus. I just started putting, again, cleaning your sheets, but I was like bleaching my bathroom floor, and they're saying that they're not running out of hand sanitizer, and they're telling us that we cannot make hand sanitizer, which is a lie, but they're saying it's not effective. So when they tell you it's not effective in the news, then I kind of think I should just make a batch just for fun. So look those recipes up, and it's not really hard to do, and if anything, it can't hurt. But I wish you the very best and good health, and stay well, safe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.